Welcome back to your sixth sense, your superpower. Isn't this exciting? It's just like a brand new adventure where you're going to get all kinds of gifts, all kinds of positive benefits are going to come in. As we proceed, you're going to start being guided to right place, right time, right people, right opportunity. Things will drop in that will be so exciting and creative. In other words, you're kind of rolling into being and living the life that is your authentic and expanded true self. So just want to start by reminding you of that. And I'll remind you often throughout the next few weeks that this is you becoming more of you. You listening to more of your authentic self. You reclaiming more of your sovereignty and autonomy and your power to direct your life the way your blueprint is designed, the way that your spirit wants to go, instead of being incongruent with life as most people who live in their heads experience. So that brings me to the point of this particular lesson. Intuition isn't in your head. And part of it is, do you know that your brain actually can't even feel? They do surgery on your brain they can just probably drill through the skull or whatever, but when you're actually poking around the brain, it doesn't have any feeling. So your brain is not a good receiver. It's your body, it's your throat, it's your heart, it's your gut, it's your skin, it's your field, but it's not the words ping-ponging back and forth in your brain. The second thing about intuition is it's not talking, it's listening. You are receiving. You are listening, and you're not listening just with your ears. You're actually listening with your entire body. And recent science, because it keeps evolving, is beginning to understand that your entire body does have the capacity to receive, to hear, and to take in energy that informs you. I actually have a colleague whose name is Greg Braden. He's a wonderful guy who is a scientist who said that his research says that the heart is actually 5,000 times more perceptive than the brain. And I believe that. And I live in Paris, and last year I saw a magazine. I didn't understand it because they don't speak French that fluently, but I did see on the cover, it said, your stomach is an intelligent organ. Hooray for science. They're catching up. I'm so relieved. So we are learning to be whole and expanded in our ability to receive energy, but it all begins with your capacity to listen. So the first thing we need to do is clear away some of the distractions. If you don't make room to listen, you're going to miss everything. Now, here's a very quick tool, and I'll expand on it a later lesson, in how to quiet your brain. So the first thing I want you to do is look around the room very quickly. Notice where you are. Notice what's new. Notice what's different. Breathe in, and then exhale like you're blowing out candles. Pulling your belly to your spine, and it completely empties you. Not just of oxygen, but it empties you of conversation. At the end of that breath, listen. Gets quiet. Try it again. Breathe in with me. Exhale. At the end of that breath, your brain is quiet. That's why people naturally do this. They naturally, when they're oversaturated, overwhelmed, just too much going on in the head, they do this all over the world, because it is a natural expelling of too much information in the head, too much talking. The next thing I want to do is to remind you, I just want to make you aware, actually, that our ears and our capacity to hear has shrunk. With our focus on our phones and our focus on our computers, our attention and the range of our hearing is getting really tiny and very selective. And that's a scary thought, because your ears and your physical body, as part of that extended listening faculty, if it shuts down, you just get pushed around and you get swept up and you get sidelined and you get sideswiped and you just lose all sense of being aware and perceptive of what's happening. So you can't make any decisions. You just react, react, react. So our exercise today is to expand your hearing. First thing I want you to do is I'm going to ask you in just a moment to stop the video for a few seconds and just close your eyes. So let's do that now. And I'm going to have you close your eyes and just listen for maybe 10 seconds. So close your eyes and listen. Take a breath in, open your eyes, and just notice what that was like. For most of us, we don't have that experience until we pass out in bed at night. And for a lot more of us, we don't even have it when we go to sleep at night. We're still chattering all night long. Just listen. Just listen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to expand that experience. I'm going to have you pause the video, and I want you for 2 minutes to listen to all the sounds around you. What you hear, and I want you to distinguish different sounds. Maybe you're going to hear the family in the background, or a roommate, or a partner. Maybe you'll hear the sounds of traffic outside the door, outside the window, or nature. Maybe you'll hear birds. Wouldn't that be remarkable? Maybe you're going to hear some busyness next door or downstairs. Maybe you're going to hear silence. Even that has a sound. So listen for just 2 minutes and pick out different sounds. I call that a little psychic sit-up because what it does is it stretches your capacity to tune into energy and listen. Okay, how is that experience for you? Just noticing different sounds. It's like, wow, I didn't even know that was there. Well, we're so busy, so preoccupied that we're not picking up what's clearly being communicated. And unless we stretch our awareness, create more quiet and a little bit more opportunity to listen, we are not going to get the kind of information that we need. We're going to miss it. I want you to have fun with this exercise of kind of waking up and stretching your capacity to listen. And the most important motivator to listen is to be interested. When we're not interested in something, we tune it out. Remember the last conversation you had with someone where what they were saying and what they were talking about didn't really interest you, and how much of it do you actually retain? One of the big important things about intuition is that it is almost 100% a faculty of listening. So we have to do a little psychic sit-up and work that listening energy out by going in different circumstances, be with different people and listen, not to what they're saying, but to what they're vibrating, what their energy is telling you. Now, one of my clients said, you know what really gets in my way? I'm super controlling. I really feel very burdened with responsibility. I'm really locked down, and I have a terrible aversion to any kind of risk. So I don't want to hear what anybody else has to say or vibrate or need, because I know that it's going to invite me to have to give it importance. So I can see that that's my block. And I really asked her, how is that working out for you? This strategy for tuning the world out, is it taking care of you? And she said, actually, no, I'm miserable. I'm lonely. I'm disconnected. I know people have a bad vibe when I come in. They don't like me because I'm not listening. I'm not receptive, but I'm scared. Good point. And I asked her, but are you really scared? Are who you are today in this moment, not your old self, not your child self, not your traumatized self in high school, who you are sitting in this chair in this moment with me today, do you really feel that threatened? That you can't listen to the world around you and put any importance on it? And she was really surprised. She said, actually, not really. And I pointed out, most of us have the habit of tuning out. And we have the justification of the habit. I'm overly responsible. I don't want to have anything go wrong, but it's not current. This is not what you currently feel. You wouldn't be in this course if you currently felt that. You know that perception to tune the world out isn't serving you. That you intuitively know. So, listening doesn't mean you have to go along with what you're hearing, what you're experiencing, what you're perceiving, but it gives you information to make decisions in the moment. So one of the big blocks for us is that we tune out because we don't want to be influenced. We want to be in our cave. We want to be in control. We want to shut down. But do we? Do you? And that, for now, I want you to just take a breath right now. Check in. Let out a little sigh. Could you twist and spin this into something different? Instead of being averse to hearing the world, could you be curious? Could you be interested? Could you have a little adventure to see what you might discover? Because that's the invitation when you start listening, and you still get a choice about what you're going to do with that. As you listen, pay attention and notice, well, if I hear something, it might be telling me, go here, don't go there, step in here, you belong here, here's the party, there's the drama. It's informing, very informing. So I want you today to practice this listening. Go for 2 minutes, maybe a little bit later. Go for 5 minutes. A little bit later, we'll stretch, okay? If you're up for it, let's go for 10. And you're not just going to begin to hear the world around you. You'll also begin to hear, and I use that word not meaning ears, but come to your awareness, maybe some of the guidance that's been trying to get your intention internally. Maybe you're going to hear something informing about a circumstance you shut down. I had an experience I want to share with you really quickly. I had to go meet some of my cousins in Romania a couple weeks ago because I had a court experience to go and work on some paperwork with my family history. And I had a cousin who was to show up there for this event with me, but she never would confirm. So here I am trying to decide and kind of gauge whether do I get on this airplane? Do I go to Romania? Do I make this big effort that's not easy, where there's a lot of gates and a lot of restrictions because of the pandemic? And do I go? Will she show up or not? Now, my brain was angry and not interested. It was annoyed that I didn't have communication, but I got quiet. I put my hands here a little bit to clear the space. I got quiet and I listened. Should I go? And I got a yes. So I went on the plane, got up, went. She showed up. She never explained why she didn't communicate. She never gave me any reason, but she showed up. We went to court. We had fulfilled the papers that we needed to fill, and we had the most beautiful afternoon after that. And then I flew away. So my listening gave me the green light to go, to show up. I had a positive experience in a situation that I had been waiting to happen for years. But I had no outward encouragement, no outward indication that she would show up. I still don't know why. She never responded. But I'm so glad I was able to listen to the energy and go ahead and show up and trust the energy that this would work out. So that's just a little anecdote to share with you. Listening gives you information that your brain and your 5 senses cannot give you. but you have to practice listening in this way. Your assignment, listen, write down what you hear outwardly that surprised you, and then what you heard internally that you didn't notice before. Share it with the community. Pay attention. This is the beginning of the superpower. Okay, everybody. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that great? We'll see you tomorrow.